What's up, my YouTube friends? Benjamin here with SkylineFBA.com, and in today's video I sort of wanted to talk a little bit about what's happening with e-commerce product photography, specifically for us as photographers. Now, why this might be important is because understanding where things are going is going to help us make clearer business decisions and help us understand our role as photographers and how we can come up with a quote-unquote product for this particular industry. Now, just full caution here, as a caveat, I just want to say that this is totally my opinion and I may be completely wrong, but I just felt like I haven't seen a whole lot of this kind of conversation be taking place, and I'd really like to have one because I want to do better in our business, as I'm sure you do too. And to be clear, I'm not talking about the bigger sort of advertising photography or food photography or architecture photography, because those all sort of fall under the line of product photography. But more specifically, the white background listing photos that are for Amazon or Etsy or eBay and those kind of things. It used to be that people, they would want good imagery for their listings so they can sell more products, which is still true today. But because phones are just getting much better with their cameras on there, a lot of people feel like they can take their own photos. In a lot of cases they can. So this puts us in a little bit of an awkward position when we're trying to price our services. And the prices just are going to keep going down, not necessarily because of competition, but because we need to price our services low enough to where it's not worth it for them to take their own photos. In other words, they would rather hire it out. And that's going to be different in different areas, but generally the rule is that we've been seeing anyway is that if we make it worth their time to just send it to us rather than them doing it themselves, then they will. And that's sort of unfortunate, but that is where we've seen the industry going. Now, how do we combat that? That's the big question here, and I do have some ideas. The areas that we've seen working, at least what we've been trying to do in our own business, is by taking a step away from the listing photos and going towards more of the creative product photography side, more particularly by having product photography that has a creative value, something that might solve a particular problem. For instance, we just had a client who came to us looking for a solution on how to make her listing photos actually stand out on the Amazon marketplace. Now, as you probably know, Amazon is just saturated with a lot of infographic looking listing photos, and in her particular product, you kind of had to do the same thing. It did warrant it. So we had to get creative and figure out a way that we can make her a listing photo that immediately got the eye popping over to it. So, and we were able to charge a lot more for that because it wasn't just a listing photo, it was a listing photo that solved a particular problem. Another way is by having a creative product photography that is difficult to reproduce. What I mean by that is like your process is in such a way that that it would be worth it for them to just send you their product for you to do it in your style, than for them to spend days or weeks or months trying to figure out how you created a particular image. And finally, one of the third sort of solutions that we see is by focusing on a particular product niche that's notoriously difficult to shoot. So things like reflective surfaces or glass or liquids or something like that, or even white on white or black on black type of products. Something where you have to get really technical in order to not have those problems, or in your post-processing being able to get rid of those issues. And finally, because a lot of these listing photos are in the more of the DIY space now, where businesses are taking their own photos, it might be worth it, instead of trying to capture business on a photography level, but it might be better to do it on an educational level by selling products or services or affiliate income for educating them on how to do their own photography, since they're already going to do it themselves anyway. And that's sort of the approach that we ourselves are going to be taking with this channel, and maybe with our website as well, because we feel like it's a better use of our time to come up with a product that is going to outlive us, so to speak. The key takeaway points here is that product photography on the e-commerce side is going more DIY. Businesses are doing it themselves. You either have to price your services low enough to where it's not worth it for them to do it themselves, that they would just rather send it out to you, or you need to solve a particular problem with your creativity, be it your style or your quality. And finally, education is another route to go. So, am I wrong? What do you think? Leave a comment below. And let me know if this video is even valuable, if I should continue making content like this, or if I should focus on something else. See you in the next one.